You understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we don't care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poisoning our foods and put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cause. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, they'd rather link a chick tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, Amistad ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, and it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
All right. Clap it up. All right, this is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to back up and support internally what is inside of the Bible. We have completed our series breaking down the difference between Satan, the devil, and Lucifer, right? Today, in light of it being MLK Day, the title of today's class is "What is a True Messiah, and is MLK a false prophet?" right? Again, who or what is a true Messiah, and is MLK a false prophet, right? Now, of course, here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we focus on practicality, right? It's not about emotions. It's not about how you feel. It's not about what you think. It's not about what you believe. It's about what is the truth of the matter, right? So, just like with every class, before we get into it, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. If you are on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're on Kick, share the screen, the stream. Um, uh, if you're on TikTok, go ahead and thumbs up the live. It all helps the algorithm. And then lastly, make sure you subscribe to I.S.U.P.K Houston, I.S.U.P.K Beaumont and Port Arthur, I.S.U.P.K Deep East Texas, and I.S.U.P.K Galveston, right? If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. Sapar, did you have any questions or anything for today's class, brother?
Not today, sir.
Okay, no sweat. All right, we gonna jump right into it then. Sapar, I sent you some information. I texted to you. It is a dossier, a docket, from the CIA. It's a white sheet of paper. It's the article, the counterintelligence program for black nationalists and hate groups. We're going to start off there. All right. I'm going to put it on the screen for everybody to see it. You can go ahead and start at the beginning of it. Right. I'm going to put it on the screen for everybody.
Come, sir. This is the document from the CIA. It's the counterintelligence program. Black nationalist hate groups, nationalist activity, and interested in the counterintelligence.
Mm-hmm.
The coordinate
to coordinate this
program.
Mm-hmm.
This agent will be responsible for the periodic programs letters being requested.
Periodic progress letters.
So like periodic progress letters
Mm-hmm.
being requested.
Mm-hmm.
But each agent working this type of case should participate in the formulation of counterintelligence operations.
Now, okay, so do you know what that means when it says that? It says that every agent working this type of case should participate in the formulation of counterintelligence operations. Do you know what that means?
So like that means whoever assigned these cases must go undercover.
Right. You understand? There's a movie about the Black Panthers called the Judas and the Black Messiah, right? That they had FBI agents that doubled that were double agents. They pretended to be a part of Malcolm X's movement, pretending to be a part of the Black Panthers movement, pretending to be a part of Martin Luther King's movement, the CLC's movement, Malachi Z. York's movement, to all for the purpose of to assimilate in so that they can get counterintelligence and find out what these people's weaknesses was, how they can trump up charges to stop their quote unquote movement or momentum that they were building, right? Keep reading, Sapar.
Khan. Next paragraph. Goals. For maximum effectiveness of the counterintelligence program and to prevent wasted effort, long-range goals are being act. Number one, to prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups.
Say that again.
To prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups. In unity, there is strength.
Say that one more time.
In unity, there's strength.
Right. So you have to understand that your enemy, the oppressor, the white man, right? And I'm saying this historically because during this time when the FBI was founded, majority of the agents were white, right? They started enlisting black and Hispanic agents specifically for the purpose of infiltrating our quote unquote civil rights movements, right? Because they knew that our strength came from our unity, right? Now, before he continues reading, I'm gonna read this, right? So, the end of the current age started in the 60s, specifically 68 and 69, when COINTELPRO was formed by the government of the United States to stop the rise, as what we're about to read in the CIA document, the rise of a black messiah, right? Because the devil, right, as we learned in our previous class, diablos in the Greek means deceiver, right? He knows the scriptures better than anybody else, right? So for that is how he's able to deceive. Okay, so they already knew that our strength came in unity, because in less than 50 years removed from slavery, we had Black Wall Street, we had Seneca Village, we had Rosewood, you know, we had multiple neighborhoods and thriving communities in Detroit, in Chicago, right? In Alabama, in Arkansas, right? Everywhere where there's a famous lake, in Georgia, where there's a famous lake, 9 times out of 10, they flooded a black town, a black city. So, you know, people ask, well, where are all the black cities? Every time we built one, they created eminent domain, either put a freeway through the middle of it, or they flooded it and made a lake, right? Because they know that our strength comes from unity, right? All right, keep reading, Sapar. Yeah, you got to zoom in on it. All right, so you stopped at in unity there is strength.
Okay, here it is. In unity there is strength. A truism.
A what?
A truism.
A what?
A truism that is no less valid for all its tiredness. An effective coalition of black nationalist groups, right, be the first step towards a Hawu.
A Mau.
It's like a Mau in America. The beginning of a true black revolution.
Say it again.
The beginning of a true black revolution.
Now let's look that up, right? Let's look that up. Let's go to Google. Mau. Let's see. What is a Mau? All right. You got it, Sapar? You got it? Or one y'all to look that up on Google. What is a Mau Mau? It's MAU. Whoever got it, go ahead and read it. Just type that in Google. What is a Mau Mau?
A Mau Mau refers primarily to the anti-colonial resistance movement.
Say that again.
The Mau Mau refers primarily to the anti-colonial resistance movement and armed rebellion.
Say it again.
And armed rebellion. 1952 through 1960.
Now, remember what I read at the beginning of this when COINTELPRO began. The end of the current age started in the 60s, specifically 68 and 69, when COINTELPRO was formed by the United States government to stop the rise of a black messiah. Keep reading, one y'all.
In Kenya against British rule, led by the Kikuyu people, fighting for land rights and freedom. But the term also refers to a 1950s New York City street gang and a popular card game. The Kenyan Mau Mau, known as the Kenya Land and Freedom Army, used guerrilla tactics.
Say it again.
Used guerrilla tactics.
One more time.
Used guerrilla tactics.
You know, like what they showed all over the internet during New Year's Eve, you had people in the hood throwing firecrackers that were meant to be shot out of chutes. You know how you buy the homemade fireworks set that shoot the bombs up in the air to do like your own fireworks display? They were lighting them up and throwing them in the middle of cop caravans and watching them explode in the middle of cop caravans. You know what I'm saying? That's what you call a guerrilla tactic or guerrilla warfare, right? This is what they are afraid of, right? Keep reading. One y'all.
And used guerrilla tactics, leading to brutal colonial crackdowns.
What type of colonial crackdowns?
Brutal colonial crackdowns, mass detentions, and immense suffering on both sides.
Say that one more time.
And immense suffering on both sides.
Right, because they know you already gone without. Right? You know what it is to live on rice and beans and rice, or rice and sugar, or rice and eggs, right? You will eat a poor man's meal just to make it through the day. They not used to that. You understand? Just so you can have strength to fight, and they're afraid of, like, there's no greater or more ferocious fighter than a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American. We are fierce warriors. You don't believe me? Look on that gridiron on the football field. You understand? Like I was talking to my rib yesterday about Ryan Clark. She was like, "Who is Ryan Clark?" I was like, she's a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I was like, "How you don't know who Ryan Clark is?" They changed the game of football, like the rules of engagement when it comes to tackling, because of two people, Ryan Clark and Ed Reed. The reason why you can't lead with your head when you tackle somebody and is because of Ed Reed and Ryan Clark. They was laying people out on the field. I mean, like lifeless, unalived bodies. You know what I'm saying? They were out here just giving brothers concussions. You know what I'm saying? Giving running backs, and these are cornerbacks. These ain't no linebackers. These are cornerbacks out here laying what we call back in the day hat. You know what I'm saying? We have fierce warriors. You understand? That don't mind putting their body on the line to take you out. That's why they have football. That's why they have basketball. That's why they have track. That's why they have boxing, because they rather you explore that for entertainment than to devise guerrilla tactics and to come together in unity and free yourself. This is not what Officer Tazadok thinks. This is not what Officer Tazadok believes. This is a CIA document that we're reading. What's called a dossier. Right? All right. Back to you, Sapar. Oh, go ahead. If you got some more on it, go ahead.
Just a little bit. At the water. It says a response to the British land confiscation, forced labor, poverty, and lack of political rights, fueled by a desire of true self-rule.
Say that one more time.
A response to British land confiscation, forced labor, poverty, and land of political rights.
Right. So they force labor and poverty upon you because they know the moment that you come out of poverty, that you're going to be in rulership. The whole world already moves to the beat of blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans.
Right.
Like the way the world dresses, the way they talk, the music they listen to, all cultures lead back to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because to you was given the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. You understand? The scripture says that we are the salt of the earth. We give this world flavor. Even the past times that we don't even do no more, they wouldn't have it if it wasn't for us. Rock and roll, jazz, the blues, country music. Country and folk music comes from the blues. Right. So, and all pop music is, or popular music is the oppressor taking cuts from blacks and Hispanics and remixing it and releasing it to a white audience. They've been doing this since antiquity.
Yep.
Because they have no culture. Know off the bat, if you do not claim your culture, then they're going to rule over you. You have to be as wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. They know what you'll do if you come together.
Right.
But you want to fight your Hispanic brother, and my Hispanic brothers, you want to fight your black brothers. We know that it's bad blood between us, and it comes from the prison system.
Yeah.
But we're a family. Yes, families do fight. But just like y'all was there for us, I will never forget what they did for us at the Alamo, man. Never. It is our time to repay the favor for them. The only salvation for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why they're afraid of a so-called black messiah. That's why they whitewashed all the saints, all the prophets, all the angels. Because if you were to see any illustration of power that looks like you, it's letting you know that you can aspire to do something. You can aspire to be something. And they can't be anything without you. That's why in your community, everything that amasses for you to survive, it's sold to you by another nation. That's not by design. It's not by happenstance. It's by design. It don't matter if you go to the UK, the Caribbeans, South America, Canada, it's the same nations in the Black and Hispanic community. How is that? I can go to a bodega in New York and see the same people running a 7-Eleven in Chicago. The same people that's running a 7-Eleven in Chicago and a bodega in New York, I see them at a stop and go in Houston. Same spirit. Go ahead, Sapar.
And it's like I was just like the brother say, it's like that them places like that have the same spirit. And when you walk in there, they got like the same drinks, the same snacks,
the same
everything.
If I could finish the rest of it.
Go ahead.
The one. An armed struggle involving guerrilla warfare, secret oaths, and violent attacks met by severe British counterinsurgency, including torture, mass camps, and forced displacements.
Say that one more time.
Including torture, mass camps, and forced displacements.
That's what's happening now. That's what the Trail of Tears was. You understand? That's what the prison system is. Matter of fact, let me look this statistic up. Where you at? Where you at? Let me open up because I don't want to lose that mile. That's heavy. That's heavy right there. What percentage of the prison system is Black and Hispanic? It says that that's exactly what it just pulled up for me. So Blacks in the prison system make up 32 to 38%. Hispanics make up 20 to 30%. And combined together, Blacks and Hispanic people often account for over 50% of total prison population, despite a smaller fraction of the general U.S. population per capita. You know what I'm saying? How is it that we are the minority per capita in the United States, but we are the majority in the prison system? It doesn't make sense. Combined, Blacks and Hispanics, we're 32% of the population, but we're at 68, almost 70% of the prison population in the nation. It goes back to that last, read that last bullet one more time, one y'all that you read on the mile.
Including torture, mass camps, and forced displacements.
That's what prison is. Prison is a mass camp where you are constantly tortured. You understand? This is by design. This is why you think they just said Mao in that COINTELPRO CIA dossier that we're reading. They know what you have the propensity to do if you come together. That's why we got to keep the Blacks against the Hispanics, the Blacks, Hispanics against the Native Americans, and vice versa, when we all have each other in our families, like literally. Like, it makes no sense for us not to fight together. Instead, you want to fight one another. It makes no sense, Akim. It makes no sense, Akwathium. You understand? So they know what you have the capability to do, and they want to stop you from it. Right? All right, so Paul, go to the next bullet. Go to I think it's number 2. Let me put it on the screen for them so they can read along with you. Go ahead.
Number 2, to prevent the rise of a Messiah.
No, that ain't what it say. Oh yeah, go ahead.
A Messiah.
Say that again.
To prevent the rise of a Messiah.
This is in a CIA document. It says their number one goal is stop the rise of a Messiah because they know that Christ is coming back. And he's coming back for the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. And in their mind, they're thinking that Christ he's not gonna come back like he did in the Bible, like it says he's gonna do in Revelation. They think that he's just gonna be born again through one of us. But they know what each and every one of us has propensity to do. That's why the scripture says that many are called, but few are chosen. Because they know if you walk in what you were called to do, this nation would change overnight. Keep reading, Sapar.
Khan. Who could unify?
Who could what?
Who could unify?
Who could what?
Who could unify and electrify the Black militant nationalist movement? Malcolm X might have been such a Hoshinin.
Hold on. A Messiah. He might have been such a Messiah.
So like it. That Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah.
Remember, you just got to remember history and who all was assassinated and killed by, and like it's open now. Like the paperwork is open now. It ain't like these files are open. Betty Shabazz, the Shabazz family sued the United States government and won for the murder of Malcolm X. It's not a guess anymore who killed him. The FBI killed him. Right? Because he could have been a Black Messiah. Right? Keep reading.
Khan. He is the martyr of the movement today. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad all inspired to this position.
Say that again.
Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad all inspired to this position.
You understand? So, and today is what? MLK Day. You know what I'm saying? And MLK, he was a brother. He came to his senses at the end, and we're gonna talk about that. You know, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. You know, he said that I'll talk about that at the end. But he came to his senses at the end, but he was foolish in his journey. Right? Keep reading, Sapar.
Come. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat.
Say that again.
Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat.
Let's find out why. Go ahead.
Because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this position. Should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal?
To what?
His obedience to white liberal doctrines.
Say that again.
His obedience to white liberal doctrines.
MLK wasn't a threat to them because he was a friend to white liberal doctrine. It wasn't a doctrine for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, even though the Civil Rights Act is also called the Civil Rights Act and the Indian Act of 1968, which lets you know that y'all are the same people. Blacks and Native Americans and Hispanics are the same people. Why would they just tell you it's the Civil Rights Act? No, but when you actually go and look it up, it is the Civil Rights and Indian Act of 1968. That lets you know that you're the same people. Keep reading.
Khan. Obedience to white liberal doctrines, nonviolence, and embrace black nationalism.
Right. So MLK wasn't a threat because he wasn't on that Mau. Right? You cannot invoke change through non-violence. When Christ comes, the scripture says that he is going to destroy what took them 500 years to build in an hour. In an hour. When he comes and he does his strike, he's going to shut it down in an hour. Akim. Because one thing that Christ our King knows and the Most High knows, because people always say, how could you love and praise a God that was so violent that would have the children of Israel not only kill the men, but kill the women, the children, and the cattle of their so-called enemies? I thought, where's the mercy? Thought your God was supposed to be a God of mercy. Our God is wiser and smarter than you, dummy. Because we know what, Sapar, blow my mind. What will happen if you let the child live of your enemy who you killed their father, and you let them grow up within your borders? What blow my mind, Sapar? What's gonna happen?
So like I said, it will grow to only cause more conflict in the future, which might be worse for the children of Israel.
And when you say conflict, just give me some specifics, Sapar.
So like if they had the victory and they didn't do what the Lord said, them kids is gonna remember that, and they're gonna want vengeance.
And they're gonna want what?
They're gonna want vengeance.
They're gonna want what?
They're gonna want vengeance.
You understand? The Lord is wiser than you. The Lord said, wipe out their bloodline. Because if you leave an inkling left, they will rise up and you will wish that you follow the orders of the Lord. You understand? Nothing. Listen, matter of fact, one y'all go to Deuteronomy 7 for me, brother. Go to Deuteronomy 7:1. Just to show you how wise the Lord is. Go to Deuteronomy 7:1 for me. Matter of fact, let me go there with you.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. And it reads, when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
Right. So this is when the Lord was about to bring us into our promised land. Right. Right. So he's letting us know, all right, y'all, before y'all go into the land to possess it, I got to break some things down to you, some small, simple facts that you need to know in order to thrive. Right? Read.
And have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Right. So the land that we were going in had several Canaanite nations. You understand? Several Canaanite nations that were greater in number and mightier than us. Right? But the Lord, he sent us to cast them out. And let's find out what casting them out is. Read.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee.
Shall do what?
Deliver them before thee.
Shall do what?
Deliver them before thee.
Right. So basically, they're going to fall into your hands. Like as if you was just, chilling and somebody rambling through a bottle of water and it perfectly just landed in your lap. Right? So when the Lord delivers these nations before you, let's find out what the Lord wants you to do with them. Go ahead.
Thou shalt smite them.
They shall do what?
Smite them.
Shall do what?
Smite them.
Now, what's another word for smite?
Strike.
To destroy. right? And he's actually going to say that. Go ahead, read.
And utterly destroy them.
Right. So just in case you thought smite was just to strike them. No.
Right.
He said not only strike them, but to utterly destroy them. Keep reading.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them.
Because the Lord knows whenever somebody's about to die, what do? They bargain. Hey, right. Let's make a deal. Hey, I'll give you $1 million for my life. You know what I'm saying? I give you my Bugatti. I give you some silver. I give you some gold. I give you one of my piece and chains. Just let me live.
Right.
But the Lord knows if you stall them out and you let them live, what do you think is going to happen? Same thing that happens whenever anybody gets robbed. They're going to want to seek vengeance. He's saying to utterly destroy them. And then he said, make no covenants, no agreements with them. But you make covenants and agreements with them every day on your phone. Every time you download the app, you make a covenant and agreement. You know what I'm saying? Every job that you get, you sign those terms and them policies, that policy that you got to sign, that you received it, you didn't contract it with them. You didn't make an agreement with them. You know what I'm saying? Every time. SHALAM. I'm teaching class right now, General. Do you want me to step away real quick? Come on, sir. Come on, I got you, sir. All right, SHALAM. All right. So with that being said, if you make an agreement with them, you are corruptible.
Yep.
You are selling your people up the river. You are selling out your people. And the reason why MLK wasn't a threat is because he agreed with white liberal ideologies and beliefs, and he was non-violent. Yeah, he got it from Gandhi, another heathen, right? That was enslaved by the British. But they were afraid that you were going to take on tactics that were biblical. They called it Mao Mao after the Canaanites. After the Hamites, right? But it's biblical because the Lord said when the Lord delivers them before you and before you go into your land, that you're going to have to smite them. You're going to have to utterly destroy them and make no agreements and covenants with them. Now, here's the heavy part right here. That's destroyed more movements in the Black and Hispanic communities in a little bit. Read the next part. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou what?
Make marriages with them.
You understand? You Hispanics, y'all want to marry white women. You black men, you want to marry white women. You you Native American men, you want to marry you a white woman, right? But the scripture says to make no marriages with them because the Lord is wiser than you feel. This is the reason why they're saying you should be able to marry who you want to marry and love who you want to love. No, dummy. The Lord is wiser than you because he knows what's going to happen when you marry that Chinese woman. Cheesy. Yep. He knows what happens when you're going to marry that white woman. Yep. Kanye. He knows what happens when you're going to marry that Asian woman, Russell Simmons. He knows what's going to happen. Keep reading. Let's find out what the Lord knows that in all of these cases that I just stated happened.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Mm-hmm. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Why?
Verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me.
Say that again.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Look at Kanye's daughter. Right? Look, I mean, Jeezy was blessed to get custody of his child. You know what I'm saying? But we have yet to see the outcome because she's not, you know, a teenager or an adult yet. But look at Russell Simmons' kids, his daughters. He's not even in their lives. He lives in Bali. His wife is raising those girls. And they embrace their Asian culture. The Lord knows, because you'd be a damn fool if you think that as a brother, your wife, because our women do it, is not going to teach their kids about their culture. You'd be a fool if you don't think that wife is not going to teach those kids her language. You'll be a fool if you think that wife is not going to teach your children their dietary laws and habits. And vice versa, sis. You be a fool if you lay down with that white man, that Asian, that African, that East Indian, that they're not going, that's their culture. You are what your father is. Go ahead, one y'all.
If I could, what you're saying is biblical because that's in the 10th chapter of Ezra. When the priests had to give back their wives. In the 3rd verse, it says, give back the wives and the children born of them. Because
right.
They were speaking the language and they were used to their mother's culture. And so it was like, it was no use for them either. So what you're saying is spot on.
The Lord is smarter than you, dummy. Oh, you Israelites, y'all are just a hate group. You should be able to love who you want to love. God is about love. God is about love. You should love everybody. God loves everybody. He loves everything that he creates. But clearly he didn't. Because he said, you, Israel, of all the families of the earth have I known, and for that I will judge you. He don't care what the Ishmaelites do. He don't care. If you don't know who the Israelites, those are the Arabs. He don't care what the Ammonites do. If you don't know who the Ammonites are, those are the Japanese. He don't care what the Moabites do. If you don't know who the Moabites are, those are the Chinese. If you don't believe me, the Chinese, they have a seasoning called Moab because they know who they are. You can go to the grocery store right now, go to H-E-B for those that are in Texas, because, you know, here everything's better. Slocky. You know what I'm saying? But you go to the international aisle, go down there where the Chinese food is, you know what I'm saying, the soy sauces and all of that. They have a spicy chili sauce that's called Moab because they know who they are. This is not a game. This is not a fairy tale. That's why the CIA had the CIA and the FBI had a co-intel program to stop the rise of a black Messiah because they know the Bible. And you erect memorials and monuments to MLK, and he wasn't even a threat. Malcolm was more of a threat than MLK, according to the COINTELPRO. Because Malcolm, he didn't sleep with white women. Martin did. That's the reason, really, why he wanted little black boys and little white girls to walk down the street hand in hand together. Because he was having Diddy freak-offs. The CIA called him Orgy Mike. That's Martin's real name. That's MLK's real name. His real name is Michael. His name is Michael King. And in the COINTELPRO documents, they called him Orgy Mike. Because he would be sleeping with white women when he would be on these missions, and he would tell the white women, call me a nigga tonight. But this is who you look up to. This is who you venerate. That's why they said that he could have been a threat, but he believed in white liberal doctrine. So that should tell you, black people, if you are a liberal, you're a dummy. You're not a threat. Keep reading, Sapar. No, did you finish? Oh, did you finish all 4? Yeah, if you haven't finished 4, finish out 7 and 4.
All right, I finished 3. Verse 4. Mm-hmm. And they will turn away thy son from following me, mm-hmm. that they may serve other gods. Mm-hmm. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, mm-hmm. and destroy you suddenly.
Which has happened to the Black and Hispanic community. Because the anger of the Lord has kindled against us. Because we're following. Martin Luther King followed the ideology of other gods. You know who is it? You know who his God was? Gandhi. He was a disciple of Gandhi. You know how Peter, James, John, Matthew, Luke were disciples of Christ. Martin Luther King was a disciple of Gandhi. Gandhi was a follower of Krishna and Vishnu. And he hated black people. That's the crazy part. He was a disciple of Gandhi, and Gandhi hated black people. Gandhi is a known racist. But like Killmonger said in Black Panther, is this your king? Is this your Messiah? Is this the person that you venerate? You want to know why they put a MLK Boulevard in every black community across America? Because they want you to be white liberals. They want you to be docile. They want you to go along to get along. They want you to be nonviolent. Remember the words of Martin Luther King. See, we love Martin because he was nonviolent. Because they know if you come together and you get violent, violence gets things done. It makes your enemy respect you. Imagine if a brother, when George Floyd was getting his neck kneed on, sacrificed himself and went and knocked the cop off of his neck so he could breathe. He might be alive today. The other brother would have got arrested. He'd have served some time in jail, but hey, we'd have put some money up for his books. He'd have got out. He'd have got bond. If a brother would have stood up for Alton Sterling, he might have been alive today. I don't want to hear nothing about you Bloods, you Crips, you GDs, you Vice Lords, about how gangster you are, because George Zimmerman, he does conferences across the United States as a hero for killing one of our own. I don't want to hear about how gangster you are. He killed a kid. You had your hand up on one, y'all? Go ahead.
Khan, I want to, if I could, read Isaiah chapter 32, verse 5 through 8 real quick.
Go ahead.
The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
So, what? Whoa. Say that again, huh?
The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl
Oh my God.
Truel is I looked that up before I read it real quick. The truel is a person who is ill-mannered, discourteous, impolite, ungracious, uncivilized, right? Mean-spirited. Verse 6, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fall. Verse 7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Come on.
Even when the needy speaketh right.
You understand? Come,
Last
bro,
verse.
Listen. Hold on. Before you read that next verse, listen. Like, that's the scripture says that the meek shall inherit the earth. You understand? There is richness in our poverty. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in poverty, you have to have faith. You have to have hope. You have to have strength. You have to have creativity. You have to have imagination. And you have to have the will and the spirit to fight, to live. That's the reason why they want to lead those in poverty astray, because it is more of us. Like it's like that cartoon movie Ants, where the grasshoppers ruled over the ants, and the lead grasshopper turned to the other grasshopper and told him, "Hey, don't take it easy on them. Don't let nothing slide, because it is more of them than us. And the moment that they realize it, it's game over for us. Because we are your garbage men. We are your construction workers. We are your servers in your restaurants. You understand? We are your house cleaners. We are your electricians. We are the servant hand in America. If we decide as a people not to go to work tomorrow, guess what? The country stops. We are the people that work in every ship channel across America. If we stop working and the ports close for a day, let's see how. Let me Google this real quick. How much money will the United States lose if all ports shut down? It says a shutdown of the United States ports could cost the American economy billions of dollars daily, with an estimated range from $3.8 billion to $5 billion a day. That's the power that you have. Because even though they might have a white man as an overseer that runs the port authority, everybody that's on those docks is blacks and Hispanics. Everybody that runs those piers, that make sure those shipping containers get tagged and clipped, is blacks and Hispanics. If we decide that we're not, that as a whole, as a people, we're all going to stay at home for a week and not go to work, the American economy was shut down overnight. That is the power that you have, and that's what they fear. They fear your unification. That was in point number 1. Go ahead, continue reading the one, y'all. It's like you. Mm-hmm.
This is verse 8, Isaiah chapter 32, verse 8. But the liberal deviseth liberal things,
Mm-hmm.
and by liberal things he shall stand.
Come on, Art. Come on. So we have to move to a mindset of militancy. You have to have a militant mindset. Like, if you don't know what a militant mindset, it is to be austere. Somebody look up that word for me. Somebody look up what austere means. Because that's how our king was. Because they say that Christ, you know, he was basically they betrayed Christ like a homosexual. That's how they betrayed Christ, as a docile, weak, effeminate man. But that's not how the Bible describes it. It says that he was austere. Let's find out what the definition of the word austere is. Read.
Definition of austere, A-U-S-T-E-R-E. Severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance.
Say it again, brother. Read that one more time.
Austere, severe, or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance. These are some similarity words. Severe, stern, strict, harsh, unfeeling, stony, steely, flinty, cold, frosty, unemotional, unfriendly,
You know what I'm saying?
unsmiling,
You
unsympathetic, unforgiving.
Let me give it to y'all in H-Town vernacular. A stiff nigga. A stiff carnal. You understand? You're not to be trifled or to be played with. That's why one of the key words in the definition, it said attitude. Because when we move like that, that's what they take it as, an attitude. Matter of fact, give me Luke 19 and 21 and 22. Let's get the description of a real Messiah.
It's Luke chapter 19, verse 22.
Hold on, let me get there with you. Matthew, Mark, Luke. All right, go ahead.
Luke chapter 19, let's start at verse 21.
Yeah, 21 and 22.
Luke chapter 19, verse 21 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
For I feared thee. The words are in red.
What color are the words?
Red.
So who is talking?
This is Christ, Yahweh Shah.
Right. So Christ is giving an analogy, basically talking about himself. Right. Matter of fact, well, let's see where I want you to start from. All right, I'll give you the summarization. Right. So this is the parable of the servant and the talents. Right. So in the beginning of the parable, the king leaves and goes off on holiday vacation, wherever the hell he's doing. He's going off to do some work somewhere else in the world. And he left his servants with talents. He gave one talent, another one 2, another one 5, another one 10 to do something with while he was gone. So when he comes back, you understand, he has something to show for his work, his money, making money while he not here. Right? When the Lord comes, see, this is what people don't understand. They think that the kingdom of heaven is just, Christ said that the kingdom of heaven does not come with observation. You know what that means? It's not saying, lo, look here, the kingdom of heaven is here, or lo, over here, the kingdom of heaven is over here. The kingdom of heaven does not come with observation, because the kingdom of heaven resides inside of you. When Christ comes, we're going to give, he's going to come with the angels, of course, to wreak havoc on the earth. You understand? To set the world stage back right. But we as a people are going to be presenting the kingdom. We're going to be presented as a bridegroom unto Christ. You should not be waiting for Christ to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. We're going to present it to him as a bridegroom. That's why it says, he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. You have to fight. Fight for righteousness. Keep reading. Read. Go ahead. Read that. Okay. So, when the king came back, right, he basically tallied up with his servants. You know, the one that had 10 talents, he doubled it. He had 20. You know what I'm saying? Presented it to the Lord. Well done, good and faithful servant. The one that had 5, he doubled it and had 10. The one that had 2, he doubled it and got 4. And then when he got to the one that only had 1 talent, matter of fact, start at verse 18 and walk it down.
This is Luke chapter 19, verse 18.
Go ahead.
It reads, and the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds.
Right. So what he had, you know what I'm saying? He went and got interest. He got 5 pounds and gave it to the Lord. Right? Keep reading.
19. And he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities.
Over what?
5 cities.
Right? Because you took a pound and turned it into 5 pounds, and because of the work that you've done, I'm going to put you over 5 cities. You know what? One of y'all, this is so cold because it sounds like the truth. It sounds like the I.S.U.P.K. You do good and build up 1 city. Okay, no sweat. I'm going to give you 2 more. I'm going to give you 5 more. But before you can build up a zone and build up a city, you have to first build up yourself. That's why here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, it says if a brother or sister wants to come into the school, he has to first shed themselves of the world. Because before you can raise up a city, you got to raise up yourself. As the scripture says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Because you are transformed by the renewing of your mind. The battle for your soul is in the mind. If you have a weak mind, you will be a weak man. If you have a weak mind, you will be a light sister. Keep reading.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin.
Laid up where?
Up in a napkin.
Right. So I'm gonna summarize, right? So I'm gonna go back. He had 10 servants, right? Let's see. It said, and it came to pass when he returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, who he had given money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. The order was for you to go out and to ascertain with the talent and gain something for your Lord from trading. That was the order.
Right.
The first thing that you got to understand is everybody has to follow orders. You know, sisters be like, well, why I got to do this? Or why I got to do that? Brothers don't have that luxury. We have to follow orders. Everybody has to follow orders. Nobody gets to do what they want to do in this world. Nobody. When you were a child, you follow the orders of your parents. When you go to school, you follow the orders and the guidelines of the school system. You know, when you get in the world, you follow the orders of the law. If you don't want to follow the orders of the law, you go to prison, and guess what? You follow the orders of the warden. Or you just die, which is the natural order of life. Everybody has to follow orders. You don't get to do what you want to do. There is liberty and freedom in order. There is dissension in chaos. Keep reading.
Verse 21. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man.
Right? He feared the Lord because he was a stiff nigga, a stiff carnal. But if he really feared the Lord, he would have followed the order. The order was for you to go out and trade. He said, nah, I'm just going to take the pound you gave me and put it in a napkin, and I'm going to put it up so I can give you the pound back. It's not what he said to do. I'm gonna regale y'all with a quick funny story. So when we had the Houston cookout, we slaughtered 2 bulls down here in Texas, right? And it's the week of, like, I want to say we going out there to Groverton in Deep East Texas. Shout out to Officer 500 Bar Aya on his land that he acquired for Commander YAHANNA, where he's raising, bulls, cows, chickens. We got rice and bean patches growing out there, to feed the nation, because we got our own food pipeline. You know what I'm saying? So I get a phone call from Captain Yatazak on Thursday. This is Thursday. We are slaughtering the bulls on Saturday. Captain Yatazak calls me and says, Tazadak, I am putting you over the slaughter of the bulls. I was like, Salakia, sir, the slaughter of bulls is on Saturday. I know what day it is. I am putting you in charge of the slaughter of the bulls. I was like, well, Salakia, sir, I mean, it's Saturday. I don't have any, I don't know what's been procured, you're making me accountable and take a responsibility for something that I haven't had complete control and hands on from the beginning. You know what he said to me? He was like, it sounds like you scared of the work. It sounds like you scared of the responsibility. That's what it sounds like to me. Real lords are made. Kings are made. Kings have to be made. Lords have to be made. Good rulers have to be made. And you know how they are made? By following orders. They may see something that you don't see, especially in yourself. You may not be confident in what you are ordered to do. That's not your job. Your job is to follow orders of the men above you. Sisters, that's your father. You've always had a man over you. Your father. When you was at school, if you had brothers, your brothers had charge over you to protect you. And then when the time came, your father gave your hand to another man to have charge over you. Everybody has to answer to somebody. And this brother right here, he was so scared, he didn't follow the order. If he would have just tried it, even if he would have got a pound for the pound that he had, he might have got a city. The other brother that had 1 pound and went out and got 5 pounds, he was given 5 cities. Keep reading the one, y'all.
Verse 21. Mm-hmm. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Mm-hmm. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, mm-hmm. and reapest that thou didst not sow.
That is the kingdom of heaven. The Lord is going to receive what he didn't build. He's going to take what he didn't sow. That's why you can't be so focused looking lo, the kingdom of heaven is here. Lo, the kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven does not come with observation. It comes by working with fear and trembling. Because the scripture says that your king cometh like a thief in the night, and he is austere. Not somebody that believes in white liberal ideologies.
Right.
Keep reading. Verse 22.
Verse 22. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant.
Thou what?
Wicked servant.
Thou what?
Wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man.
Right. So you playing with me, bro. Because if you really knew that I was a stiff carnal or a stiff nigga, you would have did what I told you to do. You'd have went out here and traded with the 1 pound. Because if you would at least went out there and put an effort out there, just tried, and it didn't work out, and you showed me the receipts and all the things that you had done, and it didn't work out, I might have mercy on you. But you didn't even attempt to follow the order. I don't have any mercy on people that do what they want to do. You know, are able to feel what they want to feel, think what they want to think, believe what they want to believe. I don't have that luxury as a leader of men. I don't have the luxury of not answering my phone because I don't feel like talking. You know what happens when I don't answer my phone? People die. You know what happens when I don't answer my phone? Marriages break up. You know what happens when I don't answer my phone? People go to jail. Yeah. I don't have the luxury of not answering my phone. Because I'm a servant.
Right.
And you think your rank in the power that you have makes you the man. The greatest man is the greatest servant. That is what a Messiah is. He is a servant to the people. He has no life. His life is his people. Martin Luther King's life was not about his people. His life was about having orgies.
Right.
His life was about being a servant to white people. He wanted to be thought of on the level as white people. I don't give a damn about being on the level of white people. You want to know why? Give me Deuteronomy 28:1, Sapar. Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. This is why I don't care about walking down the street hand in hand, little black boys and little white girls. Why did it have to be little black boys and little white girls? Why couldn't it be black men and white women and black women? Why did it have to be black boy and black girl? Because he was Orgy Mike. He wanted to be equal to his oppressor. But this is what the Lord actually said if he was a true leader of his people. Read.
And I'm going to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
If you shall what?
If thou shalt hearken diligently.
That's old English for listen diligently. Read.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God. To observe.
To do what?
To observe.
To do what?
To observe.
Because before you can do anything, you have to first hear the order. You have to hear it well. Be diligent with it. You have to hear and be taught what to do. Then secondly, you have to see how to complete the order. Yeah, you have to be shown an example of, just like at your job. At your job, like when you apply for a job, you read, you know what I'm saying? And, you apply, then you go to your orientation when you get the job, and then they explain to you what your job is, what you're going to be doing, right? You have to sit there and listen what your responsibilities are, and then you go through what? Training. where you observe what you're going to be doing. Right? Keep reading.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
And to do what?
And to do all his commandments.
So in order to do something, you have to first hear it. Right. Then you have to see an example of it to be able to do it, and you better do all of it. It said to do not some of his commandments, all of his commandments. Read.
Which I command thee this day.
Now, tell me what's going to happen, Sapar, when you follow the commandments that he gives you this day. Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
It said set thee on high what?
Set thee on high above all nations.
You sure you don't say equal to?
Above all nations.
Equivalent.
Above all nations.
Congruent.
Above all nations.
Parallel.
Above all nations.
I don't want to be hand in hand with them. I don't care if they don't see me as their equal, because I'm above them. Right. It says to be above all nations on the face of the earth. Not equal, not parallel, right, not congruent, not similar. It says to be above. I don't care that you see me as equal. We're not equal. We are not the same. I am a child of the Most High God. Right. I am a son of God. My wife is a princess. I am from a nation of kings and priests. We are not the same. We are not equal. You are beneath me because you are wicked and unrighteous, and the Lord did not trust you or your people with his laws, statutes, and commandments. Right. That is our wisdom in the sight of these nations. That's how you are to move austere. That you're not to be played with or trifled with. You are a son of God. You are a princess. You are royalty. That's what YAHANNA means. It means prince of the power. You need to move and carry yourself as such. You've been moving like a peasant for far too long, acting like Martin Luther King, trying to go along and get along with your oppressor. And what has that gotten us? Crack? Cocaine? RICO charges? You want to be like your oppressor so much, you want to be a PDF file just like him. You want to be a sexual deviant just like him. I remember when our sisters used to walk through the street and the oppressor's women would be in envy. You go and get BBLs and you have the natural BBL. You don't need it. Do you know during the Renaissance, when the white aristocracy, the famous thing was called I think it's called a bloom dress, right? Where it was a dress and it had like a big bell on the outside of it, right? You know the reason for that? It was because our women had that dragon wagon behind them. They had that wagon dragon behind them. So because the oppressors was so enthralled and lust-filled over the slaves, they was like, well, I gotta have something back there, so he'll think I got a wagon dragon. They envy you in everything. The scripture says, envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and the gift has destroyed our hearts. Because you have chosen the ways of your oppressor, and we are destroyed because of Martin Luther King's dream. Because You thought that he was a leader. No leader can lead the children of God going against the word of God. Right. We're not to make any covenants with these other nations, any agreements with them. How can you be at peace with your enemies within your borders? How can your community rise when your gas station is ran by the Arabs and the East Indians? Your beauty supplies are ran by the Vietnamese and the Chinese. Same thing with your nail salons. Your chicken spots are owned by the Chinese. Your liquor stores are owned by the Arabs and the East Indians. Your grocery stores are food deserts, and they're ran by your oppressor, the white man. You get your water from the white man. You get your food. You don't produce anything in your community. Everything that you ascertain, the fast food restaurants that you go to, they're all from your oppressor. It's okay in their neighborhood because they're circulating their dollar. We give our wealth away because we have a zeal that's not according to knowledge. We have $1 trillion. So, Sapar, look up what is the current United States deficit. Look that up for me. What is the current United States deficit? Somebody look that up for me. The current United States deficit.
Did it on the Google search?
Yeah, that's fine.
It said the current United States deficit as of early 2026, the U.S. federal budget deficit is around $602 billion for the fiscal year.
Is how much?
$602 billion for the fiscal year of 2026.
So if the Black and Hispanic community have $1 trillion buying power a year, right? Somebody look up and we'll just throw the whole nation in there. Somebody look up how much money was spent. How much? The current deficit is 1.8 trillion. All right, somebody look up the amount of money that was spent during the Christmas holiday in 2025 projected. Somebody look that up. Somebody give me that number. What was that number?
So like it says that the U.S. holiday spending in 2025, November 1st to December 21st, was projected to surpass 1 trillion.
How much?
1 trillion.
How much?
1 trillion.
So you mean to tell me if our nation was really about freedom, because the scriptures say for you not to be in debt, because debt is servitude, debt is slavery. In 2 years, in 2 Christmases, we would be out of the United States deficit and we would be in a surplus. In 2 years. 2. The current deficit is 1.8 trillion, which means in 1 year we'll have 800 billion left to pay. In 2 years, it'll be utterly wiped out. Now, in the Black community alone, we have in the Black and Hispanic community alone, we have $1 trillion spending power. We are the largest consumers in America. And you say that you don't have power? We're focused on the wrong things. That's why the number one objective was to stop us from unifying. Not just the Black community, but the Black and brown community. And you put the Native Americans in there, that's a fist. We're not the minority in America. We're the majority. Let's get back to the COINTELPRO document. Let's finish that out. Let me pull it back up on the screen for him. Let's see where we stopped off at.
The bottom of a 2.
Yeah, bottom of 2. Start where it was talking about Elijah Muhammad.
Come.
It says Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age.
Come. That Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age.
Mm-hmm.
King could be a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines.
And the word choice is important. It didn't say his agreement with, he said his obedience to white liberal doctrine. Keep reading.
Nonviolence and embrace black nationalism.
Mm-hmm.
Carmichael.
Hold on, look. It said if he would have not been so obedient and actually embraced black nationalism, which lets you know that Martin Luther King did not embrace black nationalism. Martin Luther King was not for black power. Like when the Black Power movement came, he wasn't with that. Martin Luther King, like look it up. Him, Stokely Carmichael, were diametrically opposed because he's trying to get benefits and equality with white people, and Stokely was talking about black power. The Black Panthers was talking about black power. He wasn't for black power. He wasn't a black nationalist.
A Democrat.
He was a Democrat. Right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Carmichael has the necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, prevent violence on the part of black nationalist groups.
Mm-hmm.
It say this in of primary importance and is, of course, a goal of our investigation activity.
Mm-hmm.
It should also be a goal of the counterintelligence program.
Mm-hmm.
Through counterintelligence, it should be possible to pinpoint prior potential troublemakers and neutralize them before they exercise their potential for violence.
Their potential for what?
Their potential for violence.
Because they know once we stop fighting with one another and we realize what you've done to us and we know that you're our enemy, who we gonna fight with? Them. Right? Okay. All right, number 4. Read number 4.
Number 4, prevent militant black national groups and leaders from gaining respectability.
What?
From gaining respectability.
This is why they have what they in Hollywood, the humiliation ritual. They have to have something disgusting over you, something extremely deviant over you, so that they can destroy your respectability if you do not go with the program. This is the reason for it, because Lord allow we have a brother or a sister that is perfect, that is uncorruptible, that follows the law, statutes, and commandments of God. God forbid that you would not be uncorruptible, that you would actually decide to be perfect. They would fear you, just like they feared Malcolm. He just had a zeal. It just wasn't according to knowledge. Keep reading.
Khan. Groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to their separate of the of the community. The goals of discrediting black nationalists must be handled tactfully, and their
No, tactically.
Tactically. And 3 ways.
In what?
In 3 ways.
Let's find out the 3 ways.
That you must discredit these groups and individuals. 2, first, the respectable Negro community. I mean, it's like the responsible Negro community. Second, they must be discredited to the white.
Right. So first thing they got to do, right, is to destroy the black and brown community, and then second, discredit them to the white community. Right. It cuts off. I forgot what the third one was. I used to know him by heart. Right. But this is a legal document from COINTELPRO that was unredacted. This is from the 60s. Right. And we would all agree they were successful. Every major movement that we had, the Brown Berets, our Hispanic brothers, the Black Panthers, the CLC, the NOI, it's destroyed. It is a shell of what it formerly was because it's been discredited. Yeah, I think 3 was propaganda, if I'm not mistaken. What you got, Sapar?
And it's like I mean, it's so heavy that you said that, like all the groups that you mentioned now, they're being used by, like we read in the report, they being used by white liberal doctrines now.
Absolutely. So you gotta understand the reason why they put okay, whenever they describe a person that commits a crime, how do you know that one is black and one is white? How do you know? Blow my mind. How do you know in the description in the news that a black man commits a crime, or a Hispanic man commits a crime, or a Native American man commits a crime versus a white man? How do you know? Go ahead, one y'all.
When it's a black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, they outwardly say it immediately. They identify that person. 2 black males did this, or 1 Hispanic did this. They call it out. When you know that it's our oppressor, then they refrain from saying what race they are and what ethnicity they are until the very last minute. They just can't say it. They don't outwardly say it right away.
Right. And I tell you how you know, if they go in there and say no. When it's a white man that commits a crime, it says oh my God. No. Male of the age of 35 found guilty of such and such crime. Female age such and such found guilty of such and such crime. They don't say a white male. They don't say a white female, right? And then they don't put their picture on the screen. You understand? They just describe the offense, right? But when it's one of us, they blast our picture over the screen because they look at us as domestic terrorists. Because what you fail to realize is you have civil rights. You don't have human rights because we are POWs. We are prisoners of war. The reason why you have civil rights and not human rights, because on paper, you're still considered 3/5 of a man. You know what you treat civilly? A horse, a dog. You understand? A cat. It's what you treat civilly. Cargo. Right? Livestock. You treat livestock civilly. You have to feed it. If you own an animal, you have to feed it. you own an animal, you have to give it shelter during inclement weather, or you're deemed unfit of your cargo. That is treating something civilly. They have to allow us a place to live. They have to allow us to make a livable wage, right? They have to allow us to have shelter. They have to allow us to eat and to have food. You're not treated like a human because we're not equal. That's what you have to. And every day when you walk about in this earth, you have to have. You're not equal. They know that you're not equal. That's why all of their teams are littered with your people. You can't have a soccer team without some Hispanics on it. You can't. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a football team without some blacks and Hispanics on it. You just can't. You can't have a winning track team without black people on it. I'm sorry. You can't. Or some Benjamites. You can't. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't have good music without pain in it. Who are the people with the most pain on the face of the earth? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? We give this place soul, reason for existence. We create, they build. A white man created a light bulb, a black man created a light bulb, a white man created a bill for it. A black man created the cotton gin, a white man created a bill for it. You know what I'm saying? A black man created what you say? A brother created tendonism, and the white man trademarked it. You know what I'm saying? See, we create to free. They administrate to slave. Everything that we have created, they created a bill for it. You understand? Like, you know, a black man created video games. They made a bill for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot. I think the dude. Vivian Thomas. He was the first person to do open heart surgery. They created a bill for it. It was meant to save your life. Why can't life just be valuable enough to save? No, we have to bill you for it. All you got to do is to go on what's the people that the food what's the name of the people that the Food and Drug Administration. I forgot what their acronym is. But all you got to do is go on their website and to look up natural plants that they ban as contraband, that you can't buy or sell. It's because you wouldn't need to buy the medication, that they synthetically made a formula of the plant. Like, prime example, like, did you know that anti-venom comes from cinnamon bark and I believe it's the tonka bean? That is a natural anti-venom. What they did was they came down to South America, they went to the medicine men amongst the tribes in the Amazon, and they asked them, how do you treat this? How do you treat this? Right? Scientifically, all snake venom does, it coagulates your blood. Cinnamon is a natural blood thinner. The tonka bean is a natural blood thinner. They would put these two things together and they would boil it, you understand, to make a tea from it. And you would drink the tea and it would save your life. They would put a stick to pull your tongue back, because 9 times out of 10, your tongue will get swollen from the venom, and they would pour this elixir down your throat to thin your blood so you wouldn't die from a snake bite. But if you go on the Food and Drug website, man, what's the name of this administration? I can't think of the name of the administration. FDA. Thank you. Somebody just put it up there. Yeah. I was saying it, but I would, yeah. If you go on the FDA website, right, the tonka bean is illegal because the synthetic vial for anti-venom is extraculated from the chemical compound of the tonka bean. We can't have you just going to go buy that. You wouldn't need this. And it grows natural in South America. Exactly. You trying to stop the competition. I'm telling you, the Lord created something natural for you, because the scripture says that the herb is for meat for you. The Lord created everything that you need to live and to live a life abundantly. The white man created a bill for it. The internet was free. He created a bill for it. The internet was free. Because the military used it, it's free. They created a bill for it. Everything that was meant to improve humanity was stifled because they created a bill for it. Natural resources. It's called natural for, you know, water is free, right? All you got to do is just go out there, you get you, this. If you want clean water, let Uncle Tazadot tell you how to get your own free water. It's a couple ways. You can have a rain catch system. It's a devil that's fighting a case in Minneapolis, of all places, with everything going on. He just spent 30 days in jail for having a rainwater catch system to irrigate his lawn, and he purified it so you can have clean drinking water. So he didn't have to go and get water from the store, right? And the city sued him because any water, whether it's from the sky or in the ground within the city limits, is considered municipality property. They claim they're such a devil. They claim the water from the sky because it's within city limits. They didn't create it. It's God. It's God's water system. You know how water precipitates, turn into a gas. You know what I'm saying? Gets heavy, turns into dew droplets, and they didn't create that system. But because that system is within the city limits, it's theirs. Let Uncle Tata teach you how to get some water, some clean water. It don't matter where you get it from. You can go out there and get some swamp water. I tell you how to turn it into some clean water. This is what you do, right? You get you some wood. You chop that wood into like little 3-inch little circles. And then you chop those circles into 2 halves, right? And you burn them. You know what happens when you burn them? The wood turns into what? Activated charcoal, right? Then you get you some gravel, right? You take that activated charcoal that you got, you put it in a water bottle. Then on top of that, you put you some gravel. Then on top of that, you put you some sand, right? And you put your little cap, you know, you do it from the top bottom. So you got a bottle, you cut the top off, right? You from this, bam, water bottle. Here you go, right? You turn it upside down, you cut this off. Okay. Your first level, you put your charcoal that you made. You understand? Then you get you some gravel. That's your next level. And then you get you some sand. That muddy swamp water, you take it and you pour it through there and you put a little hole right here and you just let it drip through. You just let it drip through, right? And the water up here gonna be black. But by the time it gets down here, it might have a little tan to it, right? And then that water that you get, you're running through it again. Then it's gonna look more clear like that. And then once you got that, you put it in a pot and you boil it. You have clean drinking water. Water is free. You know, before 1960, to have water in a bottle was unheard of. They thought it was crazy that people would buy water coming from a bottle. That is insane. Who would buy free water? But this is the mindset of a white liberal, right? We're not all right. So give me Jeremiah, and we'll get out of here. And time went quick. Give me Jeremiah. You know what I want. Jeremiah 23 and 16. I'm gonna go there with you.
Come.
Oh, let me get there with you. Jeremiah 23. I might have to have you skip ahead for the sake of time, so we can get up out of here. I didn't realize it was 9 already. So like it, y'all. Yeah, go ahead. Read 16.
Come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you, that make you vain speak, that they speak a vision of their own heart.
Of what?
A vision of their own heart.
Of the heart of the Lord.
A vision of their own heart. And not out of the mouth of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. They say still unto them that despise me. The Lord hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of their own heart.
Of their what?
The imagination of their own heart.
Now, drop down to 26 for the sake of time.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart?
Matter of fact, start at 25.
Come, verse 25. I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name.
They prophesy truths in the name of the Lord.
Lies in my name.
Truths.
Lies in my name.
What they say, Sapar?
Saying, I have dreamed.
What?
I have dreamed.
Oh, what they say again?
I have dreamed.
What they say?
I have a dream.
Oh, y'all ain't know MLK was in the Bible, huh?
Right.
You understand? It said prophets that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed. Like he didn't even know what he was saying. Like he was fulfilling prophecy as a false prophet. He literally saying what the Bible says.
Right. That
the false prophets say that prophesy lies in his name. Right. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Right, because there's nowhere in the Bible where the Lord said that we supposed to walk hand in hand with other nations. You understand? Nowhere it says for us to be equal with all nations. It says for you to be perfect so you can be above all nations. And he called himself a Christian, a so-called follower of Christ, and a preacher of God. You are a false prophet. Read.
Come, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams.
Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare. That's why he said right before he died that I fear that I have led my people into a burning house. The house of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because he's the one that enacted the Civil Rights and Indian Act. I'm going to say that again. You can look it up. The Civil Rights and Indian Act of 1968 that led us into a burning house through integration. Read.
Come, which they which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
Saying that
so it's like your ball.
Right. As their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. You understand? Or as Christ told the Pharisees and Sadducees, you are of your father, the devil, the white man, or the white liberals, and Gandhi was his daddy. Go ahead, the one, y'all.
I have a dream today.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. But I've had to analyze many things over the last few years, and I would say over the last few months. I've gone through a lot of soul-searching and agonizing moments. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism.
That is the words of Martin Luther King before he died. That's why he killed him. That's why they killed him. And you know what he said also in that statement? He's saying that we marching to Washington to get our check, to get what they owe us. He wasn't about being peaceable no more. He was starting to align more with Malcolm, talking about what we owed. He was a liar. He knew he was a liar. And he said that his dream was a nightmare for his people. This is what happens when you have a zeal not according to knowledge. This is what happens when you follow people and you don't know the word of God. The scripture says the things that were written aforetime were for our learning and for our understanding, because if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So a true Messiah is austere. He's a reflection of our King, Yahawashi Mashiach in the Hebrew, who the world knows as the anointed Savior, Jesus Christ. Right. He was a man not to be trifled with. He flipped over tables in the synagogue, God. He binded a cord to whip the people that made his father's house a mockery. He told the disciples to sell your garment and get a sword. So I advise you to do the same thing in this time. The sword of this time is a gun. You need a gun to protect your family. Now, I'm not telling you to go out here and to cause civil unrest and to go about shooting people. And if you're a felon and you can't get a gun, get a stun gun. Get they got the new non-lethal weapons. You know, the shotguns that got the ball bearings in them. You know what I'm saying? You need to be like Batman with the utility belt. You need to have a taser, the mace glue that go to your face when you shoot. It's like a slime that goes in the face that you can't get it out of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? You need to buy you a nail gun, one of them quick acting nail guns. You can have a nail gun. You know, get your knife, get your sword, get you some brass knuckles. You understand? Protect yourself. As Wu-Tang said, protect your neck. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now you know what a true Messiah is. He is austere and he is perfect. And his mindset that we are not equal, that we are above all other nations. And Martin Luther King was a liar. And he said it out of his own mouth that his dream was actually a nightmare and he led his people into a burning house. And with that, Imagine, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew and English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayah, Nathanla now, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawak now, Kasalak now, Kabawak now, Wala'ah, Tabi'ah now, Badasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'Allah, Wahata Para, La Awalamyum, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters, men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatah, Daddy Matah, Sar, turn and face the sisters, men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Shemar Ba Shem Yahushua. Yada Matah, dismiss. And MLK is a false prophet. Okay. Just put MLK as a liar. Yeah.